AI is everywhere right now. Every week, there's a new headline.
Artificial intelligence.
AI.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
A new billion-dollar investment, and a new promise that artificial intelligence is about to change everything. And yet almost nobody asks a very basic question. Where is the money actually coming from? Because when you look at how AI companies really operate, how much they spend, how much they earn, and how the system is built, something uncomfortable starts to show up. Most AI companies are not making a little money, not even early stage money, but they actually aren't making money at all. They are losing a lot of it. And this isn't because AI doesn't work, it's because the business of AI is far more expensive than most people realize, and far harder to turn into profit. To understand why, we need to slow down and look at how AI actually works as a business. And I'm not talking about the demos or the hype, I'm talking about the actual math behind it. Let's start with the most basic fact. AI costs an enormous amount of money to run. Every time you ask an AI a question, something has to happen behind the scenes. The chips used to run AI models, GPUs, cost tens of thousands of dollars each, and large AI systems need thousands of them, sometimes tens of thousands. And then you need buildings to hold them, cooling systems to stop them from overheating, backup power, security, and engineers to keep everything running. Before an AI company makes a single dollar from a user, it has already spent millions, sometimes billions, just to exist. And this is why so many AI companies depend on outside funding, not to grow, but just to survive. Now here's the second problem, and this is where the business model really starts to break down. Even though AI is expensive to run, most people don't pay very much for it. Look at how AI is priced today. Most consumer AI products sit around $25 a month, some even cheaper. Some are bundled into other services, and many are free, at least on the surface. Businesses often give trial credits, discounts, or limited versions. Entire teams experiment with AI tools without ever committing real budgets. That means AI companies are trying to support incredibly expensive systems.
In the future, a new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure.
The most important project of this era.
While charging prices that feel more like entertainment subscriptions than enterprise software. And there's a reason for that. People simply aren't willing to pay much more. To most users, AI still feels like a nice to have, not a necessity. It's definitely helpful, sometimes impressive, and occasionally essential, but not yet something most people feel like they must pay hundreds of dollars a month for. If prices go up too fast, users can leave. If limits become too strict, users complain. And if performance drops, people switch tools. That puts AI companies in a bind. They can't really raise prices aggressively without slowing adoption. And they certainly can't easily lock users in because alternatives are only a few clicks away. This is very different from past tech waves. Software companies traditionally benefit from scale. Once a product is built, adding another user costs almost nothing. AI doesn't work like that. Every extra user creates extra costs. Every longer conversation costs more than a short one. And every new feature increases computing demand. So growth doesn't just fail to fix the problem, it actually can make it worse. This is why many AI companies quietly adjust their products after launch. They start to cap free tiers, implement message limits, and move features behind paywalls. And none of this is accidental, it's the math pushing back. So while AI usage numbers look impressive, revenue often lags far behind. High engagement does not equal high profit, and that gap between what AI costs to run and what users are willing to pay is one of the biggest unsolved problems in the industry. Now here's where things get confusing for the public. You see companies like Nvidia making record profits, you hear about massive data centers being built, and you see trillion-dollar tech companies racing into AI. So it feels like AI must be making money. But look closely at who's actually profiting. Hardware companies sell chips, cloud providers rent servers, and construction firms build data centers. These companies make money whether AI apps succeed or not, but the AI companies using that infrastructure are the ones paying the bill. So there's a split happening. Infrastructure providers are doing well, and AI application companies are bleeding cash. This creates the illusion of success while hiding the losses underneath. If you're enjoying the video, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It would help a lot. Anyways, back to the video. Another issue sits quietly underneath everything else, and almost nobody outside the industry talks about it. Debt. AI infrastructure is not just expensive, it's capital intensive in a very specific way. Data centers cost billions to build. Power systems need long-term investment. Cooling, land, permits, and connectivity all require upfront spending. Very little of this is paid for in cash. It's financed. Many AI data centers are funded through long-term debt structures, loans, bonds, and financing arrangements that stretch 20, 30, and even 40 years into the future. That kind of financing makes sense for traditional infrastructure like power plants and rail systems. But AI hardware doesn't age like a bridge. The most important part of these facilities, the chips inside them, become outdated fast. New generations arrive every few years. What looked like world-class 5 years ago can suddenly feel obsolete. And that creates a huge mismatch. Companies are locking themselves into long-term financial obligations tied to short-lived technology. If everything turns out perfect, the facilities stay full, demand explodes, and the debt is manageable. But if demand grows slower than expected, or if pricing pressure increases, those obligations become a serious burden. Interest rates make this even more dangerous. And you might think this is all speculation, but many AI companies have openly said they are not profitable. Some have laid off staff after expanding too quickly, while some have quietly shifted focus away from expensive AI features. Even OpenAI has said it expects to lose billions of dollars per year for several more years.
Whether we burn 500 million a year or 5 billion or 50 billion a year, I don't care.
That means the most widely used AI system on Earth is still operating at a loss. And this doesn't mean failure, but it does mean the business model is not yet solved. So why does the money keep flowing in? Because investors are betting on a future where AI becomes cheaper to run, or people pay much more for it, or AI replaces enough jobs to justify the cost. Maybe all three, but none of those are guaranteed. Right now, valuations are based on what AI might do, not what it's earning today. And that's risky. History shows that when technology is real but profits are unclear, many companies don't survive the transition. And this isn't just a startup problem. The amount of money poured into AI affects energy grids, bond markets, interest rates, and government policy. When hundreds of billions are spent before profits appear, pressure builds in the entire system. Some economists argue that this creates an impossible trade-off. You can't have unlimited AI expansion, stable financial markets, and cheap money all at the same time. Something eventually gives. So here's the truth stripped of hype. AI is definitely real, powerful, and most certainly useful. But AI is not yet a good enough business for most companies. The costs are too high, the prices are too low, and the infrastructure is being built faster than revenue can justify. This doesn't mean AI is a bubble that disappears tomorrow, but it means the industry is early and expensive, and many companies won't survive long enough to see profitability. The winners won't be the ones with the best demos, they'll be the ones who solve the hardest problem of all: economics. Until then, most AI companies will keep doing what they're doing now, burning money, promising the future, and hoping the business side eventually catches up.